The James Webb Telescope is the latest toy to grace the field of astronomy. It's our eye in the sky. And lately, it's been keeping an eye on Pluto, the planet that everyone forgot about. Well, not James Webb. The telescope has once again proven itself by making a terrifying discovery on Pluto. Just what is it? And how does it change what we know about the planet? Keep watching till the end to find out. The JWST plans for Pluto. Ever since the telescope made its way to space, the world of astronomy has never been the same. There are a lot of folks out there who want to point their new space toy in different places, but of course, the biggest contender is Pluto. Sitting at the corner of the solar system, the dwarf planet has rather stayed a mystery for astronomers. However, that changes now. The planet has been classified as both a Kuiper belt object and a trans-Neptunian object. Why two categories, you ask? Well, it's KBO because it's one of the biggest known objects in the famed Kuiper belt, and it's considered a TNO because Pluto's orbit sometimes crosses paths with Neptune's. Before the James Webb era, we had already been able to explore the territory till Neptune. Beyond that is the territory where man has never stepped foot, let alone observed. But like we said, that was before the James Webb Telescope. A bit about Pluto. Before we get into what the new telescope has unearthed about the planet, we believe introductions are in order. Enjoying its status as a dwarf planet, Pluto is only 1,400 miles wide. With those numbers, it's about half as big as the United States. They weren't joking when they labeled it a dwarf planet. On that note, the planet is 5.9 billion kilometers away from the Sun, with an orbit of 248 years. Yes, we said years. Now at that distance, the planet may not get a lot of sunlight, but it poses little problem for the would-be inhabitants. You see, if you were to stand on the planet's surface at midday, you'd be feasting your eyes on a moon that's 300 times more bright than the Sun. To put it in perspective, that's 1,900th of the Sun's current brightness on Earth. As for the temperature on the planet, it falls somewhere around -232 and -387 degrees Fahrenheit. In simple terms, the planet is freezing. There are no craters on the planet's surface, but rather frozen nitrogen. The mountains on the planet are not made of rock either, but are rather chunks of frozen water. A day on the planet lasts about 153 hours, so you really don't want to be stranded there. Even with its small size, the planet boasts 5 moons in its orbit: Kerberos, Nix, Styx, Hydra, and Charon. Out of all of them, Charon enjoys the most spotlight since it's half the size of the planet. From that information, it may look like we might know a lot about the planet, but we actually don't. Take a look at Tombaugh Regio, a heart-shaped feature on the planet's surface. There's an ice cream cone-shaped area on the planet that's about 100 million years old and is completely covered by ice. Intriguing, yes, but we don't know how these geological structures came about, or anything else, for that matter, hence the JWST. What is the Kuiper belt? Earlier, we mentioned how Pluto is a Kuiper belt object. Well, here's a recap on what the Kuiper belt is for those of you who snoozed off in astronomy class. The belt in question is a disk in the outer part of the solar system, stretching from about 30 astronomical units where Neptune orbits to about 50 AU. It gets its name from Gerard Kuiper, who proposed that there would be a population of objects left over from the formation of giant planets sitting in the orbit of Neptune and beyond. And right he was. Other Kuiper belt objects include dwarf planets like Haumea, Eris, and Makemake. What's interesting is that as Neptune and Uranus expanded their orbits, they ended up pushing the belt further out, scattering the dwarf planets and other bodies in the belt. With that said, objects are expelled from the belt all the time. In fact, the Kuiper belt might be eroding as the objects scatter away. Now that we've got the introductions for the Kuiper belt and Pluto out of the way, just how will the JWST study the planet and the belt? Well, according to a member of JWST's science team and planetary scientist at Cornell University, Jonathan Lunai, the telescope's infrared sensitivity will allow astronomers to get good signals from upper belt objects, all because these bodies are very cold, very small, and of course, very distant. The JWST is going to be using the best of its features as its strength, with the greatest one being its incredible spatial resolution. Combine that with the ability to capture images using infrared spectroscopy, and voila, you've got yourself a telescope all ready to capture some pictures of the dwarf planet. The telescope will essentially utilize the sunlight reflected by the objects in the belt to study the emission and absorption lines which show the atoms, molecules, minerals, and ice giving off light. Now, normally the Earth's atmosphere blocks infrared light, but in the case of the JWST, the near-infrared spectrograph integral field unit will reveal the light from these planetary bodies from near-infrared to the beginning of the far red. Addressing the matter, Leonine added that JWST covers a broad wavelength range, so we might just be able to see the various molecules on the surface having possibly primary vibrations. More on how JWST plans to do the impossible. Leonine added that if you make this wonderful beef stew of some kind and mix all the ingredients together, it obscures what you started with. On that note, the team behind JWST plans to take baby steps and then work its way in. In simple terms, the beef stew refers to the formation of the solar system. Mind you, some objects in the belt have been there since the formation of the giant planets. There's a high chance that once astronomers point their telescopes at the belt, they'll make new discoveries. Because according to astronomers, there are many bodies in the Kuiper belt, hundreds of thousands of objects that remain to be discovered. Plans to study the belt, like we said. The JWST is all set to cover the dark secrets of the Kuiper belt and Pluto. It's going to do it as part of two Kuiper belt science proposals, Proposal 1273 and Proposal 1272. Leonine will serve as the principal investigator on the former. He'll be examining the dwarf planet Haumea, the Amicus Trojan asteroid, a KBO called Quaoar, and 3 centaurs. As for the other proposal, it's studying dwarf planet Sedna, Neptune's moon Triton, and 2 centaurs. Basically, what researchers want to do is to share these observations and combine them so they can study several of these objects ranging in size from Pluto to down. However, the question is just what scientists plan to learn by studying the Kuiper belt. Well, they plan to uncover the solar system's rich but mysterious history. That belt is a practical graveyard. Fortunately, the responsibility to map all of Kuiper doesn't rest on JWST's shoulders. There's a new ground-based telescope in the works in Chile called the Vera C. Rubin Observatory. The 6.5-meter class optical telescope with a 3.2 gigapixel CCD imaging camera is expected to revolutionize the study of KBOs. It is, after all, the biggest imaging camera. A little about the James Webb Telescope now. We can't end the video without talking about the main star of the show, now can we? The James Webb Telescope is a $10 billion bet that's essentially paying off. Ever since its launch back on the 25th of December 2021, it's been one milestone after the other. It has had us mesmerized from the very first image, where it showed a cluster of galaxies. However, our favorite has to be the one where it details the Southern Ring planetary nebula, previously hidden from astronomers. The telescope is also to be thanked for giving us a peek at the galaxy group called Stephan's Quintet. We were also able to see Jupiter in all its glory and track a moving asteroid for the very first time. All in all, the James Webb Telescope is doing amazing work, and we're hoping it'll blow us away with the upcoming images and discoveries of Pluto, the mysterious dwarf planet beyond our solar system. Thanks for tuning into StarBurst. We hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something new about the incredible world of space. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode.